Okay, let's try a little thought experiment. The premise is simple, but the consequences are so massive they're almost impossible to truly wrap your head around. We're going to explore, step by step, what would happen if the lifeblood of our modern world just disappeared.
All right, so I want you to picture this. You wake up tomorrow morning. There's no warning, no slow phase out, zero time to prepare. Every single drop of oil, whether it's deep in the ground, in giant reserves, or in the tank of your car, is just gone. What happens first?
So, the first 24 hours? They're not some slow, gentle decline. Oh no. They are an immediate, catastrophic shutdown of movement itself. We're calling it the Great Halt.
I mean, we are talking minutes here before the world just stops moving. Cars start coasting to a stop on the highway. Trucks carrying everything from food to medicine just freeze in their tracks. Container ships go silent out at sea. That constant hum of our world, it just gets replaced by this really eerie silence. And this is where you start to realize the sheer scale of our dependence. It's just staggering. Think about it. Over 90% of all global transport, planes, ships, trucks, most cars, is powered by oil. It's not just part of the system, it is the system. When that vanishes, the engine of the entire world just cuts out, dead.
And by day 2, this is when it really starts to hit home for everyone. The shelves at your local supermarket are emptying out, and fast. But it's not because we've run out of food. Nope. It's because there is absolutely no way to get it there. The supply chain, it hasn't just been disrupted. It has literally ceased to exist.
All right, so as we move into that first week, the crisis just spirals. It goes way beyond just transportation. The very fabric of our material world, it starts to unravel. And this is the thing, the part that I think most of us just don't think about. We don't just burn oil for energy. We wear it, we build our world with it, we even depend on it for our health. It's the key ingredient for so many industries, from life-saving pharmaceuticals to the asphalt on our roads. Without it, production doesn't just slow down, it flat out stops. So just think about everything made of plastic. Your water bottle, the keyboard you're typing on, all those sterile medical supplies that save lives, even the packaging that keeps our food from spoiling. Poof, the ability to make any of it, gone, overnight. And what about the clothes on your back? Polyester, nylon, acrylic, all of that stuff is just oil products. The entire global textile industry as we know it, it would just collapse in a matter of days. And you might be thinking, well, at least we've got our high-tech world, right? No, not even close. The problem goes that deep. The plastics, the resins, all those little insulating parts inside your smartphone, your computer, they all need oil byproducts to exist. Without oil, the assembly lines for our coolest, most advanced tech just go dark. End of story. So, by the time we hit the 1-month mark, this thing has gone from a crisis to, well, a full-blown global collapse. The dominoes have just kept falling, and now they've reached every single corner of society. And the domino effect is it's terrifyingly fast. You see how it works, right? It starts as a transport problem, which cascades into a supply crisis. That then becomes a manufacturing shutdown. And the final domino? Total economic catastrophe. But honestly, the most terrifying part is the food crisis. Modern agriculture it's basically a process of turning oil into food. That's what it is. You've got no diesel for tractors, no petroleum-based fertilizers, and of course, no trucks to deliver anything that might get harvested. The world starts to face starvation, and fast. So, global stock markets, they don't just crash, they evaporate. They become meaningless. Businesses built on moving and making things become worthless overnight. This isn't some downturn you can recover from. No, this is the end of the economic world as we know it. But here's the thing about us, about humanity. Even in total collapse, we find a way to endure. After that initial shock, the horror, the chaos, people start to adapt. And slowly, really painfully, a new and very, very different world starts to rise up from the ruins. Priorities shift completely, right? Energy production pivots to what's left. Solar, wind. Transportation, it becomes super local and electric. Think bicycles, small rechargeable vehicles. And our cities, they can't rely on global supply chains anymore. They have to become self-sufficient. So what does this new world actually look like? Well, we lose all that incredible convenience we're used to from the oil age. That's gone. But what do we gain? We get stronger local communities, skies that are dramatically clearer, and a society that's built on something more basic, more direct, sustainability. It's a huge trade-off, no question. This whole thought experiment, this crazy scenario, it really brings us to one final, inescapable point about our civilization. And here's the absolute heart of it. Our world wasn't just powered by oil. Its entire blueprint was designed around the idea of cheap, abundant oil. Our roads, our cities, our economies, our whole way of life. It was all built on a foundation made of oil.
So that crazy hypothetical, what if it vanished tomorrow? It really forces us to ask a much more real question. Because look, we know the age of oil will end. We just don't know when. So are we actually ready for that world? For real? Because whether it happens by a sudden collapse or by our own choice, that transition, it's coming. It's inevitable. And when you look at the consequences of it happening all at once like this, it makes one thing perfectly, terrifyingly clear. Getting ready for it is the single greatest challenge we will ever face.